Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. All right. In all the swirl around lawmakers from the Democratic side asking Joe Biden to drop out and interviews, aggressive interviews with George Stephanopoulos and Lester Holt, seemingly lost in this whole mix is Jill Biden. If anybody is more supportive and probably more protective of Joe Biden, I don't know. I would say the most protective, supportive person is going to be Dr. Jill Biden over her husband. So I want to look at her energy right now and how this is impacting her and what influence she might have over the president's decision to remain in the race or drop out. Okay? So, with that quick intro, let's jump right in. Entertainment purposes only. How is this current situation impacting Jill Biden? Four of Swords. She's been purposely keeping very low public profile on this. Four of Swords is a card of quiet contemplation, reflection, excuse me, meditation. Yeah, I'm still suffering from COVID. I sound pretty normal. I have a little bit of a runny nose and a cough. My apologies. Again, if sniffling or coughing during the presentation bothers you, go ahead and skip the video. And in a few days, I should be healthier. But if you can bear with it, go for it. But she's keeping kind of a low profile here. Crossed with the Justice card. I was going to say she's not going to tell him what to do. But I don't think she feels what he's going through is fair and just after everything that he's done and accomplished. She's got opinions. She might vocalize them to Joe, but if she were to be under hypnosis, or you want to go in the comic book realm, Wonder Woman's truth lasso, she might have some aggressive things to say about the folks attacking her husband. She understands his politics. That doesn't mean she's happy about it. Underneath it all is the Double card. I think she looks at this. This is, not only does she think it's not just, it's plain evil. And the folks that are asking him to step down, they're succumbing to fear. And this card mimics the reading I had the other day. Why are so many Democrats asking him to step down? It's like they're succumbing to fear. Oh my God, Biden can't win. What are we going to do? The chickens with their heads cut off type of thing. And I'm sure the Trump camp is loving the chaos that the Democrats are going through right now. But also, it's part of the job. It's politics. Joe Biden is voluntarily in politics. And in politics, if you show weakness, the sharks come out and start attacking. And there's probably no boat with a big electric battery for you to electrocute yourself with. Just saying. In the past, you got the Ace of Cups. Somebody might have some feelings, strong feelings, about what's going on here, but she's keeping them quiet for now because her husband is dealing with this. This is not her fight, it's his fight. But do not doubt for a second that Dr. Jill Biden doesn't have feelings and passions about this. And if she could give the stink eye, and if she does give stink eyes, she's giving stink eyes. Current situation is the Knight of Wands. She's doing whatever she can to help Joe out. She's doing campaign rallies and things along those lines, although one apparently got canceled in Ann Arbor, Michigan recently. as I suppose as maybe Biden's making his decision. Who knows? But if Joe's not feeling well, he's not going to be going to that stop, and maybe her being there wasn't going to make a difference. They'll just reschedule. Knight of Wands is part of a plan moving forward. I think she's going to support what her husband does. She's there to support him in any way, shape, or form that's needed. Biggest fan goes to Jill Biden. Overarching energy is the Fool card. Honestly, if President Joe Biden had already made the decision to step down, he would have confided with Jill, and she'd be getting ready for their new life, their new journey. Assuming that he's not stepping down or has not made his mind up, I would assume this card to mean that she feels like these folks that are, especially on the Democratic side, that are calling him out, they are foolish. They are on a fool's errand. They're the ones who are more likely to hand this election over to Trump than anything else. As I've mentioned before, do not trust the polls. Polls are run by the media companies. The media companies are owned by, generally speaking, very wealthy conservative men who have an agenda. It appears that the extremely wealthy men and businesses out there want Trump because they do better under a Republican government. They always get the regulations cut, the taxes cut, and they get to make more money. I don't know how much is enough, but apparently it is never enough. The lesson to be learned is the Moon card. The Moon is a feminine energy. It's not the divine feminine wisdom like the High Priestess would be. It's also confusion. It's mystery. It's paths yet to be revealed. Maybe President Joe Biden hasn't made up his mind yet. But here's the thing. She's with him on any path, any journey he takes, she's there along with him. Honestly, for this one, if we're going with the whole situation right now, regardless of what Joe Biden's saying, they are foolish and they're out of their freaking minds. And this is so not deserved. Out comes the Queen of Cups. But she's keeping her mouth shut. This is I'm sure this is bothering her. She's keeping her mouth shut. It's not her fight. It's her husband's fight. And it's her husband's fight against people's fears, their irrationality, against Trump and Trumpism and things along those lines. I may be projecting, but the vibe I get from Jill Biden is that she's very much like my wife, Michelle. She is extremely supportive of her husband and the decisions he makes. Michelle has opinions. Boy, does that woman have opinions. And she has no problem voicing those opinions. And she is smart, and she is sharp, and her sharp is her wit, and her tongue is sharp too. Do not mess with her. She's like a badger. She will mess you up, even though she's small. And, if I, just throwing it out there, if I were in Joe Biden's shoes and if I were the president, or if I was going through a similar situation that Joe Biden's coming through, I tell you what, she'd be like the dog at the end of the leash, at the end of the chain. Just let me at him. Just turn me loose, coach. I'll take care of this. I'll make a messy. I'll take care of this problem. It's gonna be a mess when I'm done. You might want to call in a cleanup crew. Yeah. Jill Biden's not happy. She's keeping her mouth shut, but she's not happy about this. Maybe I was going to say, well, what's going to be her decision on Joe Biden? She's going to support anything he does. She doesn't feel this is right. Biden's done nothing wrong. He's done everything right. And there's that Four of Swords card coming up again. She's going to keep her mouth shut. Not her place. And I don't mean that as a woman shouldn't make this decision type of thing. But as much as she knows this is her husband's decision. Okay, so what do I want to throw on next here? What do you think about this? All right, this is, I thought about just briefly. This is going to be a little bit of a catty question, but I'm feeling like I'm in a little bit of a catty mood. Should Joe Biden stay in the race? And should he win the presidency? How is Jill Biden going to treat those people who were not fully supportive of her husband? How might she feel when she's in a room with those people? Is she going to be forgiving? Is she going to be venomous? How is she going to be? Again, entertainment purpose only. I have no idea what this is. Just a random dude on the internet reading tarot cards. But let's get a little bit into the saucy stuff here. Just a little four-carder. Emotions, strong emotions. Well, first off, yeah, she's not going to want to be alone in a room with them. Oh, I'm looking for the swords cards. If the swords cards come out, those people, I just did a reading on Adam Schiff, for instance. Those people might not want to be in the same room with like any sharp objects in there. The Lover's card. Nine of Wands. Four of Coins. Okay. How is she going to be in a room with them? It's going to be very emotional when she's in that room with them. She's going to have opinions. But she's going to conduct herself like Dr. Jill Biden. She's going to rise above the fray. And she's going to have a little bit of an attitude. And she'll probably keep this attitude to herself. Like, I was right. You guys are wrong. You don't appreciate what this guy has done for you. But in the end of the day, he's back and I'm back. She will never trust those people again. Those people have lost her trust. Maybe the ones that come up and apologize, she might be able to reconcile, but she's not going to be the one who makes the first move. They're going to have to make the first move. She will be very reserved around certain people because she doesn't trust them anymore. And emotionally, she has strong emotions, shall we say. I'm not saying they're anger or hatred or crying or anything like that. Strong emotions. Just picture somebody who's betrayed your husband. How do you ever trust them again? People that were supposed to be your friends. Again, maybe if they apologize or try to make amends, she might let her guard down a little bit over time, but she will never open up to these people like she has before. She can't trust them. She can't trust him. She's there for her husband. Plain and simple. I think that, I'll probably get comments, well, I could have told you that without throwing tarot cards. Yeah, well, I probably could have guessed that too. But that's why I throw the tarot cards, because I could be wrong. And this gives me a little bit of the insight on that one. Actually, it was maybe a little four-carder. Another little four-carder. Oh. Will she be forgiving of any or many of the things that were being unjust to her husband? Will she be forgiving to them? Don't really need to throw on this because it's not relevant. But let's see. Will she be forgiving them? Well, if she thinks they're crazy, she might. Benefit of the doubt. Foolish. Wow, these cards look familiar. It certainly would be a... I don't even think she knows the answer to that. She doesn't even know the answer to that, if she would be forgiving of them. It's kind of like she doesn't know how she'll do, but she's feels like in the relationship she now has the high ground over those people. Foolish behaviors. I don't think she's going to give them a fresh start. I think she thinks they're idiots for doing what they're doing. She might be publicly forgiving, but only forgiving in a little bit. In the end of the day, she's going to keep her opinions to herself. She keeps it to herself. She has strong emotions, but she is like an introvert. She's not going to let you see those emotions. You don't have the privilege of seeing her emotions. In the end of the day, her husband's going to be the one who's going to be more forgiving. She might have opinions on that. She might think he's a damn fool for doing that. But I could see Biden forgiving people because that's politics and he understands how that works. I'm not saying she doesn't understand how that works, but I'll just keep my mouth shut here because I'm going to undo. I will undo everything that you've done because F these people. And she might give her guidance to President Biden. Don't you ever let those people do that again. Because if you don't stand up for yourself, put me in, coach. I'll take care of business. Right now, if I were one of the Democrats that was suggesting Joe Biden step down, I might show a little trepidation around my presence with Joe Biden. I sure as heck wouldn't want to be alone with her because it would be awkward and uncomfortable and the room would be very, very cold no matter how high the thermostat was set. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.